Ah, shit. This episode of Defective Discourse has been brought to you by our patrons. Here at BRG, we'd like to thank those patrons who have subscribed and donated. It is because of generosity like yours that makes this show possible.
Defective Discourse. Welcome to the show where we talk about the topics that matter to you. Video games, media, technology, all starting now.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us on this first Tuesday of the month.
No sleep for you, Zaz. No sleep.
You were trying to sleep, and then we go live. Of course. Come on.
Hey, at least you're here for a great episode.
Yeah, you are. Actually, this is cool. What? You're going to do it now?
We've got cool stuff.
Yes, we've got cool stuff.
We have cool stuff.
Oh, man. So, for those of you who have been following Zez in chat and anyone else who's seeing this on YouTube in a couple of days, Defective Discourse is a podcast where we talk about, pieces of news that were kind of big the past month. I can see that, says Z.
No, he can't see that.
He can't see that. Oh, show it again.
I'm getting reflections off the monitor. That makes it hard.
Yeah. You got to hold it on like an angle. And so Component Z and myself, Kirok, we do the show once a month. It's every first Tuesday of the month, and we talk about a topic. We pick a topic, and we just dig into it. Generally, we like to have guests on. This week didn't work out, so it's just going to be the two of us chewing the fat, having some fun, talking about what did we pick today? What did we pick this day?
Well, this is 2019. Better late than never.
2019. Better late than never. Specifically, it's about video games and how they're kind of changing in the industry, and they're almost reflecting more like the movies, like in the movie industry. But go ahead, say what you were going to say.
We're talking about sequels.
Yes.
But some games, it's like, here's the first one. A week later, here's number 2. Then there's those games that just, I don't want to say fall into obscurity, but it's just like there's a cult following, there's great sales records, and then there's just no...
It's just nothing.
Just nothing, for some reason.
Void.
But we have found out that 2019 is going to bring us a lot of good games, a lot of good sequels that have been in the wind for years.
So actually, we might as well just dive into it. CZ popped up on screen the jewel case for the game, specifically in the article that we're kind of basing this off of. So the game he was showing off was Kingdom Hearts 3, if you guys couldn't see that. And Kingdom Hearts 3 has been a game long awaited.
Yeah. I'm a personal fan of the series. But it's been a long time coming for a main console release.
So, okay, I want to talk a little bit about the Kingdom Hearts series. Oh, hang on a second. I see a message from Zez. Oh, he says talk about the Metro thing. So I thought Metro was supposed to come out on Steam. We'll just take a little side note here. Metro was supposed to come out on Steam. Epic stole it, right?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
And I think it changed again, but I don't know. Do you know what happened lately? The last little while?
As far as I know, it's only available on the Epic store.
Okay.
That Epic took it away from Steam and...
Yeah, okay. So I wonder if that's what Zez is referring to, or Zez, let us know in chat if that's changed any based on what we've just mentioned. But going back to Kingdom Hearts. Okay, I want to talk to you, Component Z, about Kingdom Hearts, because I had this impression, and I don't know where I got it from or how I got it, but to me, the Kingdom Hearts series was always a brawler / fighter game. I thought it was a Smash type game, like a, Smash Bros.
No, it's it qualifies as an action RPG.
Okay.
It's um, have you played like Hyrule Warriors, that kind of a game?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Some of me and my friends, we make fun of that game. uh,
But it's really an action RPG. Um, to me, it has a great story element, but
okay.
you know you really are just fighting waves. Um,
Yeah, but
so
it's still more RPG-ish than I would say Hyrule Warriors type. Because
correct.
Hyrule Warriors is more like hack and slash, non-stop. While this one, I was watching Thomas from BRG, one of the BRG members, stream it, and it looked like it had more of a structure and questing and RPG and things like that.
Yeah. Um, it's set up so that it's got like a huge overarching story and then several small stories intermixed across multiple realms.
Yeah, okay. So, see, I've never played any of them. Not the first, not the second. This is what, the third that's out now, but it took
This
a
is the
super long.
first. This is the third as far as mainline games. There are the first and second came out on the PS2.
Got it. Okay. Well,
That's
that
how
might
long.
explain it.
That's how
Because
long
I
it's
wasn't
been.
really, yeah, I wasn't really a PS2 player much. I was more on Xbox 360. So Zez wrote down KH3, Kingdom Hearts 3 is an action RPG. So
Yep.
that's kind of the genre it falls in. Oh, and he also noted about the news on the Metro situation. He says it's only going to be on the Epic Store, which is what we just mentioned. But over the weekend, a dev of the game threatened PC players saying if they boycott Metro on PC, they wouldn't release it on PC going forward. Ooh. So here's the thing. I want that game. When I saw it in E3 last year, I was like, yeah, that looks like a really good game. And I'm kind of torn whether I should get it on Xbox or sorry, not Xbox, console or PC. I think PC is always better because then if they have mods, you can mod them to your heart's content.
Yeah.
But now if they're going through this garbage, wow.
But yeah, with sneaking back into Kingdom Hearts for a second.
Yeah, sorry, I had to kind of
No,
mention that, but go ahead. Yeah, okay.
the main games came out on the PS2.
Yeah,
But a lot of the um, intertwining stories came out mostly on handhelds.
ah,
See, they had. I'm trying to remember kind of the order and what they came out on. You had Chain of Memories, which came out on, I believe, the Game Boy Advance.
okay.
You had 385 by 2 that came out on the PSP. Dream Drop Distance came out on the DS. Coded, which was actually a mobile game. I don't even know how that one worked.
Right.
Sorry, 358 by 2 was on PSP. Yeah, Dream Drop Distance was on the DS.
Did you play them all?
I've played 358 by. I've played 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I've tried. I tried Chain of Memories on the uh, Game Boy Advance. I didn't like it on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
Now it is on the 1.5 disc. There's collections that are out on the PS4 that are 1.5 and 2.5.
Okay.
They have all the games. And a couple of people I've talked to said that Chain of Memories plays a lot easier on an actual console.
Okay, I see.
But I did play. I've played a little bit of Dream Drop Distance. I had a hard time getting into that one. and I played quite a bit of 358 by 2.
Okay.
That was the game that got me to buy a PSP.
Nice. Give me one sec here.
Not a problem.
Yeah. So basically, like this particular article that we're talking about, and CZ alluded to this, is like games are kind of like some games are coming into a new, not, I don't want to say the word habit, but it's like it's happening more and more, and we're seeing it especially in a bunch of games that are slated for 2019 or should be coming out in 2019, and that is a long period of being dormant, a long period of no activity whatsoever.
Well, sometimes, and one of the games that's on the list is another game that I'm looking forward to. I can understand why it hasn't come out. The company that originally produced them isn't doing games anymore.
Okay.
Well, actually, both parts of it. Without going too much into that one, I know that there's I know our next game on the list is one that you're looking forward to.
Okay, hold on. Now I got to show my. Where do I have it? There it is. So this isn't the game. This isn't the game, but you'll know which one. Do you see it? Hang on. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, you get a little bit of glare, but
Yeah, let me tilt it. Yeah, so this is the remake Shenmue 1 and 2 for the Xbox specifically, but you can get it for both Xbox and Xbox One. They re-released it. The one I'm really waiting for, I'm really waiting for it because I just have this thing about having a collection, because I haven't played this yet.
I think Zez likes Shenmue just a little
There,
bit.
oh yeah, check it out. Shenmue! And so I'm eagerly awaiting 3, but I still want to finish 1 and 2. I want to play 1 and 2 before I play 3. But here's the thing. That game, there's a gap of 18 years since its previous release. So when Shenmue finished 18 years later, it's supposed to be sometime this year, Shenmue 3 is supposed to come out.
Yeah.
So that's a huge gap. That's like having a kid and then they're an adult. Do you know what I'm saying? Or close to an adult, depending on where you live.
Holy crap. That is a 100 gigabyte game.
Wait, which one? Shenmue 3 is a 100 gigabyte or the Shenmue 1 and 2? This is awesome. Zez knows little tidbits here and there of the games we're talking about.
Man, I wish I would have brought it. I wish I would have grabbed a drink. I was not smart too.
Shenmue 3, okay. I really hope that game does well. But there's like this big cult following with Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 as well.
Can you cover this for just a second so I can get something to drink because my throat's
Yeah,
dry
go
out.
for it. No problem. So, do you want me to keep going down the list?
Just talk about Shenmue 3 for a minute.
Okay, all right. I'll talk about Shenmue 3. Yeah, okay. So I have it already not pre-ordered. I have it on my wish list in Steam. My goal is to get that game. Because I don't actually know the exact release date, I'm banking on I'm going to get through 1 and 2 on that Xbox disc that I bought before that comes out. Or if I get inkling of an actual release date, maybe I'll start streaming the 1 and 2 series in preparation for the 3 when it comes out. And I've seen people do quite a lot to get that game going. August 29th. Thank you, Zez. August 29th. There you go. So now I have a kind of a time frame. But as I was saying, I've seen people actually play it on the Dreamcast, for example. In fact, on the Dreamcast, I keep hearing as one of the better playthroughs or the better renditions of the game. I used to have a Dreamcast. Oh, so, okay. August 27th. Zez just made a correction in chat. So August 27th for Shenmue 3.
Ooh,
So that gives me some time to finish 1 and 2.
Part of the reason I wanted you to hold on to not talk about the next one coming up, one,
Okay.
I wouldn't be here to switch the screen.
Okay.
Number two.
Number 2.
This is actually this is the other game on the list that I was most waiting for, and the one I was just talking about. The reason this next one has been delayed, which is MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
Oh, how long?
It has been 17 years
Oh
since
my God.
Mech Warrior 4.
Holy shit.
17 years.
Freaking long.
And the reason this one's been in kind of limbo for so long, the main group who was doing it, which was FASA,
Okay.
went
The
bankrupt. But they were also releasing them under. Let's see. I think MechWarrior 3 was Ensemble Studios, which later became Microsoft Studios. But Microsoft isn't really making games anymore.
No, they're not. I haven't really seen a title from them.
MechWarrior 5 is actually by a completely different group. It's actually the group that's doing the MMO. MechWarrior Online. They're building it on the same engine. So MechWarrior 5 is actually a Piranha game.
Okay. I think I might have even downloaded and played some MechWarrior Online for like a brief moment, but I know the game you're talking about. Yeah.
I gave it a try. I wasn't too thrilled about the online element, the way it played.
Right.
But I did like the overall aesthetics. It's a pretty game, but I don't like the MMO side of it.
Aspect of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
You know, it's mostly just like essentially a MOBA with mechs, or not a MOBA, but brain just went dead. Like an Overwatch type game with mechs. So to me, it's not that exciting. I like something that's story driven.
Story driven. I hear you. Yeah.
But the fact that they're building it on the same engine as the MechWarrior Online engine does give me hope that this might actually be a really good game.
And that one was 17 years in the making, or well, I won't say the whole seven. I don't want to say in the making because I don't know if it was the whole 17 years that they've been developing. It's just a big 17-year gap since the last one, right?
Yeah. Well, it's been, like I said, it's been 17 years because the last MechWarrior game I think Microsoft did was for the Xbox, and that was Lone Wolf, I think.
Lone Wolf. Okay. I have.
360. Thank you.
Going back 360.
Yeah.
I have fond memories of Chrome Hounds, but I can't remember if that was on 360 or Xbox. Totally, it's still a MechWarrior game, but not this brand, right? Yeah. Before we carry on with the other games that are listed, we did mention Kingdom Hearts. Did we say how long it's been since that one?
Yes, that it has been 14 years because we were talking about the PS2.
Yeah. Okay. So 14 years. Damn it, man. Another one that has had like a massive gap was Psychonauts. The original Psychonauts released 14 years previous, and Psychonauts 2 is technically supposed to be coming out sometime this year. I never really got into it. I think I have it. Somebody gifted it to me on Steam because the original's like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Right? But
I think I have it, but I don't think I've played it.
Yeah, I started it and I was like, haha, it's a little fun. Okay. And then it didn't really hook me. But that's another one apparently that's got a big gap from its previous or predecessor to what they expect to have this year. Crazy. Like the year, like it's amazing how much time.
Zez says it was free with Twitch Prime for a while.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
That might be where I got it. It might be in my my Twitch game library.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, there's a Twitch Prime, or is it through Twitter? It's through the Twitter app that you can get free games every so often.
Twitch Prime. I know,
but
Twitch...
It's through the Twitter app, but it's Twitch Prime, right?
No, Twitch actually has its own app that has a game library.
Yes, yeah.
Twitch.
But that's through Twitch Prime, or is that?
Yeah, it's through Twitch Prime.
Okay,
but there's a separate Twitch app that you can get that has like the game libraries.
Correct.
Like you can, I think you can stream from it. You can watch streams on it.
Yes, yeah, you're right. I think I got some Shadow Tactics, I think it's called Shadow Tactics, a game for free on there.
That could be.
Yeah.
Now the next game in our list has been 11 years since its previous, and I think there was a recent remake of the original game.
You are correct.
Now this is a game I'm actually not all that familiar with. I've heard of the series, but I've actually never played the series.
I never played it either.
And that would be Devil May Cry.
Yes.
That would be DMC.
What's the type of genre that Devil May Cry falls under or falls into?
I think this is also action RPG.
Action RPG? Okay. Devil May Cry.
Zez, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes! Look at him. Yes!
He says it's an action game.
Yeah.
Again,
okay,
I've never played the DMC series, so...
Neither have I. Like, I never really found an allure in it. And 5 is the next one, right?
5 is the next one coming up. That is the one that's been 11 years. Like I said, there's been at least one DMC remake. I think there might have been 2 in there somewhere.
Got it. Okay.
He said it's not really an RPG. It's more pure action along the lines of like Ninja Gaiden.
Understood.
Or
all right,
Gaiden, depending on who you ask.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, we might need to look this up. But did I hear that it's going to be on the Switch, or is it wishful thinking?
Yes, as we should have.
What, you should have had me on this episode? Yes, absolutely. Well, he is on the episode. He's interacting.
Yeah, we probably should have had you on this episode.
Hang on, I'm going to look it up. Devil May Cry Switch. I think I'm wishful thinking here. No, I don't think so.
Well, you are getting Diablo 3 on the Switch.
Oh, yes, that is true. That is very true. Actually, I have it. I just haven't broken the seal yet. No, not on Switch. No,
yeah.
He says not. Just shattered my dreams.
Now,
actually, I want Red Dead 2 on the Switch, but that's just me.
The next one I know a little bit about the property.
Yeah.
I think I've played a little bit of the first game. For some reason, I couldn't get into it, even though generally it's a property that, RD2 would kill the Switch. But the next game, I know a little bit about the property. I couldn't get into it, even though I'm a big fan of the licensed property, but I couldn't get into the game itself.
Got it. Okay.
And that would be Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah. And this is a fighter, correct? It's just a fighter pure through and through.
Now I'm having to dig back in my memory because I played Ultimate Alliance, the original.
Because I never played these. I never played these at all.
Back a million years ago. Because this has been 10 years since 2. And I played the first one, so... Zez does say it's a squad-based action brawler.
Action brawler, okay. So an action brawler is, correct me if I'm wrong, along the lines of a Smash Bros? Isn't that considered an action brawler?
No, I think what he's talking about is you play a small team, and you're just running through areas, kind of clearing out areas.
Okay. So Bad Dudes or Double Dragon style.
Yeah. Yeah, more double kind of.
It's not competitive. Okay, he wrote down it's not competitive.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I would say more Double Dragon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game.
Yes, I played that. Okay,
kind of a beat 'em up game like that.
Got it. And how long was that one?
Like I said, that was 10 years since 2 came out.
Damn.
I think that again was on the. I think that was on the Xbox 360, possibly on the PlayStation 2.
Hmm.
And I think it was also out on PC. I do remember that one. I do remember this was a PC game. So I think I had the original as a PC game.
Got it. Okay. Well, speaking of PC games, well, this is not really, well, not PC, but still the same company, Microsoft. Like Windows. No, not Windows. Oh my God, I can't speak straight tonight. The next one is Crackdown 3. And when
Zez does say Ultimate Alliance 3 is being developed by Team Ninja, the same group that gave us Ninja Gaiden on the 360.
Okay.
So that could turn out to be interesting.
It could be good, yeah. So Crackdown 3 falls under 9 years since the previous one, which was Crackdown 2, obviously. Now, I gotta say, I played Crackdown. I played Crackdown the original. Crackdown the original was an amazing game. It was kind of like, I guess you could say it was like a cel-shaded type game. It had action. It had a good progressive system. As you improved your character, you became more and more powerful. It was
would you consider this like a action RPG, or how would you?
No, I would look at this more like oh God, I don't even know what kind of category it would fall into. It'd be like
Says Crackdown. The first Crackdown was good, but the second one was
2 was a dud. Exactly what I remember. I did buy 2. I played it. I did not like it. So it's been 9 years since the last one, and there's a lot of people who love the Crackdown series and are dying to get their hands on this. It's supposed to be out like in a week, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you were correct.
Yeah, it's out in about a week, and apparently, if you get the new Game Pass on Microsoft. You will get it for Game Pass is $1 on special this month, and if you buy the Game Pass for the month at $1, you get this game as part of the Game Pass. So technically, you can get the game for $1, which is really crazy.
I might have to look at this. Okay.
Yeah,
superhero action cop game.
There you go, superhero action cop. Thank you, Zez.
Wow, we really should have had him as a live guest.
But from what I remember, you're in a city and you are a cop and you slowly kind of build up your powers. Things like leaping and jumping across buildings, better weaponry, but it's all like altered superpowers, almost like you're a superhero, but you're not. I vaguely remember this because it's been such a long time since I played the first one, and it was on 360, if memory serves. And what I remember most vividly was there's a lot of collectibles in the game. And if I'm not mistaken, there were like I can't remember the right number. It was either 300 or 500 collectible orbs. And the more you collected, the more a certain power would get better. And they were around a certain area in the city because you'd hear a sound. And you could spend hours looking for them because they'd tuck them away and hide them in little nooks and crannies. It was a great game. Fantastic game. So 3 really better do the job right, or you might have a lot of angry people. they may have a big problem if they fuck it up. Yeah. It comes out on the 15th when everything else comes out. There you go.
Now this one I might end up playing because I do believe I have the Game Pass on Windows, so
yeah, okay.
I might have to check that out.
Okay. So wait, yeah, okay. You'll be able to download that and play it. Don't quote me on this. However, because Crackdown 3 is made by Microsoft, right? It should be a Play Anywhere game, meaning you should be able to play it on your Xbox or on your PC running Windows 10. As I said, don't quote me, but if it is a Microsoft, it wouldn't surprise me if it will be a Play Anywhere game. Look at this. Zez is like, yeah, it is.
Zez is on that tonight. Wow.
And Zez is saying Game Pass is great. You know, I've been torn about that. How much is it in the US? Because in Canada, it's like $80 for 6 months.
I do the month to month because it's a little easier to swallow, and if I remember correctly, it's like $10 a month.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And I don't think I've taken full advantage of it, but I keep it just in case.
Yeah, that makes sense. Plus, if you like a game, well, let's say you're on Game Pass and you like Crackdown, I think Crackdown will probably stay on Game Pass. But the idea behind Game Pass is eventually some titles get recycled out and new ones get cycled in. But I'll bet Crackdown's going to stay on. However, if there's a game you really like, the service allows you to download and purchase that game if you want to add it to your library at a discount.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So if you like a game that you think might come off the Game Pass treadmill, if you want to call it that, or conveyor belt, you can actually opt to pay for the game and buy it, but you get it at, I think it's like 10% less or something than it would have been.
It's not bad. Like I said, I need to start utilizing my Game Pass a little more, but I do have it just in case.
Yeah.
Now,
so
the next game that we're gonna hit, again, this is one of those I've heard of, but actually never played. And everybody that I've talked to says that I missed out and that I should have played the original. And if the sequel is going to be anything like the original, I need to play the sequel.
Got it.
And that is Rage 2.
Rage 2. I've seen Hamnisu, who's also a part of BRG, stream the first one. You haven't played the first one, right?
No, I have not.
Yeah.
A couple of people told me that I should because I'm a big fan of Fallout, and it's got that same post-apocalyptic wasteland feel.
Yep.
But then again, I'm also a fan of. My brain has just gone out the window.
It's all right.
Jesus, what is the name of that movie series?
Zez is throwing it in.
Mad Max.
There you go.
Mad Max. For some reason,
it does remind me of that.
I could think of the car.
Yeah.
I just couldn't think of the name of the. Could not think of the name of the movie, but yeah, it does have that Mad Max feel. I'm a big fan of the original movies. Fury Road was kind of meh in my personal opinion, but.
And it's been how long for Rage, from Rage 1 to Rage 2?
This has been another 9-year gap.
Yeah.
So.
Like, we're talking years, not months here. We're talking years.
So if you're 18 now, the first game came out when you were 9. Think about
That's
that.
insane.
People.
That's crazy. So I want to talk about the next one, and these are games that don't actually have established release dates. One of them was in the news recently, not too long ago, but I want to talk about the next one on the list, and this one I want to talk about because it's near and dear to my heart. I don't have it here, and that would be
apparently it's not too near.
What? No, it's Beyond Good and Evil 2. So I played Beyond Good and Evil on the original Xbox, okay? And it was funny because I was working, not where I'm working now, I was working somewhere else, and one of the guys there in shipping was like, "Oh, you got to try the game. It's a lot of fun. It's really good." So on a recommendation, I went out, bought it, popped it in. This is on the original Xbox, played it, and there have been HD re-releases on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, which I have as well. And I played it, and it was amazing. It was a fun game. It's very kid safe. The story, I don't remember a whole lot about the story, but basically you play as a female who's got a camera and a pole arm that you can use as a weapon, and your uncle is a pig that talks. I know that sounds kind of weird. And you go around fighting
You
enemies.
had me up until the point you got to Pig Who Can Talk.
But
As
no,
an uncle.
it's the gameplay. The gameplay was good because there's actual fighting. You can actually fight enemies that when they come up to you, so it's like an action game. But at the same time, the game is strewn with puzzles. So there's puzzle areas where you have to kind of sneak and be stealthy and not break beams and set off alarms. There are other parts of the game where you drive and ride vehicles like a hovercraft on the water. It's Kingdom Hearts is not that weird. Oh. But I have fond memories of it.
Fair enough, says. Fair enough. It's just like the way he was describing that is like, yeah, you play as this girl and she's got this camera and a pole arm.
Yeah.
And her uncle is a pig.
And her uncle's a pig.
What the hell?
Paige, I think is his name. And her name is Jade. And so it left me with many fond memories and really, really enjoyed it. It felt like a story that you got into and progressed through and felt like there was closure at the end. It was great, all in all. And there have been rumors for years about a part 2 coming out. I remember a good 6 years ago, maybe it was, where they had like screenshots of them stranded in a desert with a car. She's sitting on one side with the main star. She's sitting on one side with an umbrella covering her head from the sun. Meanwhile, the pig uncle guy, Paige, is trying to fix the car. And it stirred up a hornet's nest when that thing came out, when that image came out. And then I think it was 2 E3s ago, all of a sudden they brought up an actual trailer, and since then they've released that trailer plus another one. And if you watch the trailer, you get sold in 2 seconds. The graphics are amazing. The first trailer, when you watch it, it feels so much like Fifth Element, the movie The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
It's got that same feel. And then the second one is like in space, so you kind of get that what's the Marvel guys that are in space? Guardians of the Galaxy. You kind of get that feel from it. So there are a ton of people who are anticipating this game, myself included. And it's been 16 years since the first one.
Yeah, that actually falls in as our third oldest game.
Yeah, that's crazy. 16 years, man.
Shenmue has been our oldest at 18 years. MechWarrior at 17, and this one comes in at 16 years.
Yeah, it's insane, but I cannot.
So the first one can drive.
The first one can drive?
First one's old enough to drive. And now it's getting a baby brother.
Yeah.
Now, the next one on our list, is a game that, to me, I've wanted to love. I really did. I tried it. I've played it. The first one was good-ish.
I never played it, and I don't really have a desire to play them. But
I have found that I like them better if I watch somebody else play them.
Understood.
They're a great evolution of the game series, but it was definitely hard to play because the first one came out on the Wii, and it used the Wiimote, and it was just a little awkward.
Okay.
And for some reason, apparently I am not on... There we go. And we are talking, of course, about Metroid Prime. Now, aesthetically, the Prime series are beautiful games.
Right.
They were top-notch. Like I said, the stories are really good. You know, they flow right into what a Metroid game should look like, or should feel like. Again, I didn't like the first... I only really tried the first one, but I didn't like it because I didn't like the controls. They were really wonky.
Right, okay. It's like it's a platformer, right?
It's more FPS than platformer.
Okay. Okay.
It's kind of a first person platformer.
Okay. Oh. Get him. Get him.
Come on.
Look at him. Hold on. This is great.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. So Metro Prime 4 is the next iteration, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
And
it's been 12 years since we knew what happened to Samus.
and remember earlier I mentioned that the ones without game or release dates, sorry, one of them was in the news recently, and that was Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Nintendo Direct, and they said that they scrapped the game. Not forever. They scrapped it, if I'm not mistaken, they weren't satisfied with what was going on with the game, where the direction they were heading in, and they wanted to do it right, so they scrapped what they've had, and I think they're starting all over again, if I'm not mistaken. So
That'll be
it'll be 15 before you see 4.
at the rate it's going, probably.
Yeah. So
Yeah. But like Zez said, it's more first person shooter than
opposed to original side scroll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not scrap, but gave it to the original devs to start starting over. Well, if they're starting over, how much are they going to save from what they've gotten done so far?
Well, I mean, there's probably some assets that they can save, UI that they can save.
Yeah, maybe then. Okay.
So that if they can salvage the assets, that's a lot of your gameplay. Though that's a lot of your game development time is building assets and making assets look good. So that might cut some time.
Sorry, wait. What? Making asses look good?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, we are talking about Samus. They do have to make her ass look good.
Oh, right on. So there is a game that actually had a huge gap as well, and this game's already released. It's out now. You can buy it.
Yeah, it's actually the first one that came out this year, with Kingdom Hearts being number 2.
Number 2, exactly, and that is Ace Combat 7.
Yeah.
The Star Wars game of the Viscerals was working on. It was scrapped and isn't the same. Or okay. But Ace Combat 7, for those of you who don't know, is a fighting simulator, flight fighting simulator. So dogfights in the air with, F-14 Tomcats, F-15 Eagles, and so on and so on and so on.
By that picture, that looks like an F-22 Raptor, by the way.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that picture looks like
actually
an F-22 Raptor.
That's a beautiful, beautiful plane.
Yeah, but this is a series that I never got into, but I've looked at I looked at the trailers for this one.
Yeah.
This is a pretty one.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about getting this one just because I'm looking for a good flight sim. I used to do some combat flight sims back in the day.
Gotcha.
Do not get up there. You've already been sprayed with the water how many times? Just
She doesn't give up. Or he.
Yeah, he's just... Sometimes he's just a troublemaker.
So the other thing, well, I don't remember if I just mentioned, but there was a 12-year gap from the previous Ace Combat to Ace Combat 7. And when I look at this, it tempts me into getting it because I do like...
You should get it in VR.
Well, oh my God. Dude, that would be good because then you'd actually have to look behind for planes. Oh, that's a great idea. So here's the thing, though. When I look at this, if they do bring out VR support, I might just get it. But if I'm going to go that route, say it does come out VR, and this is the point I wanted to bring up, I probably invest in a good flight stick.
Yeah.
Because, you can play it with the keyboard and mouse, but if I have a headset on, I'm not going to be able to see the keys.
Zez says it's in VR.
Oh, it is in VR? Damn.
Um,
Maybe I'll do it then. It
if I can make a suggestion,
yeah.
you might open up your browser.
Okay, yeah.
Um, Thrustmaster Cougar HOTAS. COUGAR HOTAS.
Cougar. What was after Cougar?
HOTAS. HOTAS. Means hands-on throttle and stick.
Cougar PC Thrustmaster HOTAS. There it is. Nice.
There
It's double. So you got the stick and you got the accelerator too? Is that?
yeah. You've got it's stick and throttle. So you got
stick and throttle.
You got the throttle for your left hand. You got the stick for the right hand. That is actually aluminum, and it is built off the. I believe that is built off the one in the A10 Warthog.
Ah, okay.
It's modeled It's modeled after that one.
I'd have to get a chair that I can attach them to, and then I put my headset on in front of a green screen so it looks like I'm in the plane cockpit.
Yeah. See?
Dude, that's a plan.
The only thing is you're gonna have to you have to put the two poles up here.
Oh, okay.
There's two ejection seat poles that sit above the seat.
Yes.
You just have to put something in the back of your chair so it comes up and you get the pole.
Oh man.
But yeah, see, there you go. We can get you Ace Combat 7, and you can do some VR flight sim.
So that's
okay.
Yeah.
Zez does say that there is a correction to his statement. It is out on PS4 VR, on the PSVR right now, but it's supposed to be on PC next year.
Next year? Okay, so maybe I'll wait for that because it's always better on the Vive.
That's fine. That'll give us time to get you a nice controller. We can get you a nice flight stick set up, get you comfortable.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to get a good one as well. I'm thinking about getting a good one as well. I said I wanted to do MechWarrior.
Yeah.
I find that playing like MechWarrior 3 and MechWarrior 4, I had a lot more fun when I had a controller.
Okay.
Because the throttle makes it really easy to control.
Oh, so you mean a controller like what we're discussing, not a controller like a
not a controller like that, but actual flight stick.
Got it.
Because I could actually set my throttle up on the. I set my throttle to the actual throttle.
Yeah.
But I put torso spin to the rudder button. The controller I had back in the day had rudder buttons, so it could actually spin the torso on the fly.
Okay.
And then it made. Then I used the controller to actually, steer the mech itself. So it made controlling it a lot easier. So I'd like to see if that works under MechWarrior 5. It might be at least what I do when I stream 3 and 4.
Okay. That'd be pretty cool to see that all set up, the rig.
Yeah, it's going to take some time because I got to get I'm going to try, like I said, I'm going to try to get a virtual machine spun up. Because on a side note, Windows 10, as of the Fall Creators Update, actually has Hyper-V built in, which is a virtual machine controller. So you don't need an external virtual machine system to run an actual virtual machine.
Ah, okay.
Windows 10 now does it natively. So we're going to see how well that works. Because we are talking about Windows 10. But Hyper-V is actually... the true Hyper-V is actually really, really strong. It's used in a lot of server environments to run virtual machines.
Okay.
So if it's got even, half the server capability, it'll be excellent for what I'm doing. I found an old Windows 7 code I had tucked away somewhere.
Okay.
So I'm going to download and install
And run a
Windows.
virtual machine on that. Okay, that's cool.
I'm going to
That
download.
that would help if I wanted to play Fallout 3 again.
Yeah, and see, that's the other thing. That's the other reason I wanted to get it. I wanted to get it so if I decided I wanted to play like Fallout 3.
Yeah, because you were telling me it has a hard time, if not work at all on 10.
Yeah. The brain just went completely out the window. There's another game that had some problems with it. It was another Rockstar game.
Oh, was it? Okay. It's okay. I don't know, man.
What's the police game?
The police game?
Yeah.
You're not talking about Grand Theft Auto.
No.
No. I don't know which one the police game is then.
We're L.A. Noire. There it is.
Oh, L.A. Noire.
I had to get my brain to.
So wait, you're telling me L.A. Noire doesn't run properly on 10 either?
The original did not.
Oh, okay. I have it.
If memory serves, the original had the same issue as Fallout that Fallout 3 had, where it wants the it looks for that messenger.
Got it. Okay.
Zaz goes, yeah, L.A. Noire. I couldn't type fast enough. I'm glad you had my back, though. Thank you.
So, looking at these games we kind of all went over in this list and the huge gaps between their previous release to their current release coming out. One of the things the article that we were looking at kind of talks about is like, why is this happening? Why are they kind of going almost the way of movies or movie industry this time, where they build sequels, and there's a number of reasons why there could be a number of reasons why this is. And I listed out a few of them that I got out of the article as I was looking. Like, one of the reasons, or one of the simple reasons, is long delays can take time, tons of time, because by today's standards, games tend to be much larger in scope and size. And when I say scope, the worlds are much bigger, and size, quite literally in gigabytes. And they take a lot of money to make. Some of them number in the millions to make. For instance, I think Red Dead Redemption was, I don't know the exact price, but it was probably on par with making a movie, or even higher. I think in price they go higher than that. And it's not just because you got to consider the technology that goes into them. You got to consider the research, the capturing of sequels sell much better than new IPSs, and the main reason, in my opinion. And that's one of the reasons that's in here as well. But I'm kind of going through them a little at a time. So, yeah, I was saying you got to consider the technology that goes into them. They do motion capture. So they have full-on actors wearing suits, playing out parts and mouthing words. And that's why you get such great detail in some of these games that look like you're watching a movie, right?
The problem is it feels like we're going backwards in gaming now.
Okay.
You know, if you remember back years and years ago, we're talking pre-internet days.
Okay.
The biggest thing to happen to video games was FMV.
Oh,
full motion
yes.
video.
I remember those days.
Now, you had some games that had a lot of full motion video. The series that jumps to mind first is the Wing Commander series.
Okay.
Pretty much anything after Wing Commander 3 and later had full motion video in it.
I remember Command and Conquer. Anyways, go on.
The interesting thing,
trap.
Well, kind of an odd side note, and because I'm talking about Wing Commander.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is actually was actually in Wing Commander.
Ah.
He played the main protagonist in the Wing Commander series. Just kind of a side note there. But we had these movies that would take place, then you play the game, then you go back to the movie. Feels like video games are going back to that.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Especially with games like Quantum Break.
Quantum Break, I'm going to play that, and you're right. It has full motion video in it. There are the odd, rare games, and this isn't in the list, but I can speak from experience because I played it and I loved it. There's a game out there called Late Shift, I think it's called. Yeah, Late Shift, and it is all full motion video. There are no three-dimensional rendering graphics or anything like that, but it's a choose-your-own adventure, and your time to either do this or do that, and depending on what you pick, it goes down a different avenue, but it's all filmed with actors, professionals. Great game, by the way.
Accurate says, Zez's comment for those watching at home, Quantum Break actually didn't have full motion video. It had full episodes.
Actually, he's right. I haven't played it, but he's right. I remember watching previews.
They're like 20, 25-minute episodes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Another reason, so I'm going to quickly go through the reason. Another reason that a title can remain in development for so long is sometimes a developer or studio may start or embark on a new project and it goes longer than what they think. Maybe the funding isn't there. And over that period of time, console generations can change. So they find themselves changing the engine that they're using or something like that. And that's another valid reason why a game can take quite a long time to come out. Another reason would be games, some some titles which have established success are updated intermittently rather than having a full sequel made. So good examples of these are like Overwatch, Fortnite, Rainbow Six, League of Legends. For example, League of Legends has been out since 2009, and it's never had a League of Legends 2. Am I right? Or has it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make the argument that Rainbow Six should not be on that list.
Rainbow Six, well, they keep adding stuff to the game rather than releasing a new version, right? Because they can make money that way.
And no.
Okay.
Because Rainbow Six Siege is actually like the fourth game in the Rainbow Six series.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Totally. Yeah. No, you got a good point there. You got a good point, because it is a sequel in itself.
Yeah. Rainbow Six Siege is actually closer to. It's part of a series. It's part of the. Yeah, any games of service true.
Yeah.
But it's part of at least a franchise that was series. Having not played Siege itself, I don't know if it actually is.
Well, you can get like skins and stuff, and they release new players every so often, and so on. Sorry, new characters. So you're not going to see a Rainbow Six Siege 2, let's say, because say they wanted to. I know you're saying it's the fourth in the series, but what if it's considered to them its own game, and they want to break it off? Then technically, you should end up seeing a Rainbow Six Siege 2, but you don't.
Well,
and that's because they're upgrading and they're trying to make money that way through the game.
See, and this is where I'm where it's walking a fine line.
Yeah.
Because some people wanted to call MechWarrior Online the sequel a sequel to
MechWarrior 3 or
MechWarrior 4.
Oh, 4.
They wanted it to be that sequel. But it's not. It's
a separate game, basically. Kind of like
that. Thank you, says you filled in that one small gap that I had. I didn't know, because I haven't actually played Siege. You are going to get sprayed again, you cat.
The cat. There we go. This is great.
I wasn't 100% certain.
No, he's right. There is no story. There is no story in it. Yeah.
I haven't played it, so
online.
That's what I.
Okay. Oh, get it! Doesn't like that.
Did you see that look of fear in his eyes when I brought the bottle around and waited? I gave him a second to move.
I saw that. So if I go one step further, the other reason, and this is something that Zez brought up in chat not too long ago, another reason is relative security in reviving old licenses with nostalgic value. Basically, games that some games like this can prove to become massive IPs. They don't necessarily need to be super popular, or at least they may have been a sleeper hit. And so the logic behind it is it's something that once had some sort of a success. It's less risky to them to renew it rather than to come up with a completely new intellectual property. So there's a higher risk and a lot more to be lost in trying to invent a new IP. It's a riskier move because it all depends on your critics. It all depends on the fans and how they like it and how it's received. Whereas if somebody releases Red Dead Redemption 3 in the next 5 years, that's a pretty safe bet that if they do a good job, it's going to be a very popular and successful game. This is why we see Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3 over and over and over.
Yeah,
and it's one of the things... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Call of Duty is just one of those...
Behind you. Didn't want it. Didn't want to get sprayed.
I didn't even have to pull the trigger that time.
Yeah.
Thank you for catching the cat.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm actually trying to watch my camera over my shoulder.
But Rockstar only puts games out every 7 years. Yes, but you know it's going to be a good game, right? Now, in this case, they've established this, like, I don't know if you remember, but the original Red Dead was nothing like this. It was actually called Red Dead Revolver. And it could have been a game that just fizzled out, but they kept on it. Only I bet there was somebody somewhere, some dev or some goes, hey, check this out. Look what I can do. And they all went, whoa. All right, this is the direction we're going in. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, anyways, a good example, I think, would also be the other one that I'm super stoked for, and that is Beyond Good and Evil. It was more of a sleeper hit, but it was still well received. But it's been such a long gap. And they're like, you know what? There's a lot of people who like this game. Maybe we should just revive it, put some energy and some resources in that, and make something really good with today's technology and see how it comes out.
Yeah, and then like I said, look at MechWarrior. The companies that were doing it are no longer actually doing the game, so they had to wait for somebody else to get the IP for it and get the green light to make it.
That's true too. Oh, Zez is asking, wasn't Revolver a 2K game and not a Rockstar game as well? Actually, a good question, because I'm not sure. I have the game upstairs, but let's see.
Isn't 2K Rockstar's parent company to begin with?
Don't know. Is a Western action. So Red Dead Revolver is a Western action adventure third-person shooter video game developed by Rockstar San Diego and published by Rockstar Games. In North America, May 4th, 2004. So that's what I see online under Wiki. Meh.
Something new. But yeah, like I said, sometimes the companies that own the IPs, aren't able to put out any games. Okay, Take-Two is their parent. Okay. I knew there was a 2 in there somewhere. I can't keep up with them.
So that's the main gist of the article about, these big gaps in games and how we're seeing it more so. And in 2019, apparently we're getting like a whole slew of these games that have been dormant for so long. They do also talk a little bit about funding and how funding can come about for different games. And in some cases, it can be part of the reason why it takes a while for the game to potentially come out as a sequel. One viable option for funding for games is crowdfunding too. Things like Kickstarter have actually proven to be pretty good at rallying up people who they may not even have realized were avid fans of certain games and help those developers resurrect long old IPs, right?
Um,
Which is pretty cool.
there are some games that were out on Kickstarter that I question
Uh,
being
like the one that you have on screen right now. You know
I
what though? I have that.
I don't know. From what I understand, the latest update has really, or the
Yeah.
latest major update has really
No
kind
Man's
of
Sky
put it in,
Next. Yeah.
has
Yeah.
kind of put it back to where it should have been.
See, and so here's the thing: where I guess in a way it is now, but basically what you're saying is really what we should have gotten 2.5 years ago when it came
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah.
And I bought into it. I remember reading so much about it. I remember listening to podcasts about No Man's Sky, and I think this is truly one of those games where it had the potential to deliver. Because look at it now, right? But I think where it kind of got screwed was it's a situation, one of those situations where you have Sony having it as an exclusive, kind of pushing such a small development team with a great idea and saying, no, 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 we want it. It's got to come out. It's got to come out. And they envision all these things, so they promote it as such. Because the guy, what's his name? I don't even know the guy's name. The main developer who misrepresented it was saying you're going to have this, you're going to have that, you're going to have this. And when the game came out, it had none of that.
Yeah.
And that's what hurt it. And now, 2.5 years later, it has quite a bit of what he originally said. So if Sony had kept their meddling, what's the word I'm looking for? Meddling hands out of it, maybe it would have been a better game right at launch. The problem is Sony wouldn't have got it out when they wanted it.
Yeah.
That's where
the other
damage.
the other game that made me question like Kickstarter and stuff like that as a funding for video games.
What game is that?
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen?
Yeah, I think.
Did you play it? I never played it.
I haven't played it because I can't afford to.
Ah. Okay, explain to me because I'm a little lost. I recognize the name, but
Okay. Star Citizen is a for those who don't know, is a space simulator game.
Yeah.
Much like Elite Dangerous.
Okay, that's the one I know. Yeah. Okay.
Where my problems arise from it. First of all, they raised a ton of money on doing different backing formats. Then when they finally did get a game out there, it was about a quarter-ish of what they originally said it was going to be. The reason I don't play it is, like I said, I can't afford it. You actually buy your ship as part of it. And ships range from the cheapest ones, I think $27 to like $250 for one ship. For one ship.
In-game currency or real money?
Real people money.
Shit. Okay.
Some of the packs can be upwards of over $1,000.
Oh my god.
Now, that alone is a little hard to swallow.
Oh yeah.
Now, the problem is if you do something stupid like fly into a gravity well and your ship gets crushed.
Right.
I hope you have insurance.
Which
Which is an option that you can get when you buy your craft, is you can get
in-game insurance?
You can get insurance.
Oh my god.
But it's only like 6 months.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was really weird the way it was laid out.
Wow, okay.
I
didn't know.
I haven't looked at it in about a year, but it's Robinson Spacecraft Incorporated, I think, is the is the website for where you actually get the aircraft.
Okay.
But it was such a weird development. You get like, I think like some of the higher money packs, you actually get a ship or two ships or a couple of ships, insurance, and some starting seed money in game currency. But it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay real money for some raider to come by, blow my ship up, and leave me stranded without a ship, and then have to go pay real people money again to go buy another ship to keep playing.
That's nuts. And people play that.
I know some people that put at least a little bit of time in there. Actually, I almost had a chance to play it because somebody was willing to give me an account that they had actually bought a ship on.
Right. Okay.
But I'm like, no, because I don't want something to happen to the ship because I don't know how to play.
Damn.
And then they're losing out on real money ship.
And that started as a crowdfunding game.
Yeah, it started out, if I remember correctly, it started out on, I believe, Kickstarter. They made a small fortune, then went on to do this and made a small fortune, and then it took, I think it was in development for like 3 or 4 years. I think he actually tried to raise money a second time on like Kickstarter. And I think the second time he was like, I'm still in development, but I'm having a hard time, feeding my family or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was just this really weird scenario, and it's like,
no.
yeah,
no,
nah.
I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Nah, because like the first time, I want to think like the first time he raised over $1 million.
Oh wow.
Or some ridiculous amount of money that went into the game, and then they released it with only like not even a whole quadrant. I think it was, like less than a quarter of the area that you were supposed to have to move in.
Got it.
So,
one of the last games I kind of jotted in there. We talked a little bit about No Man's Sky, but another one is, and this is an example more than anything about how a development in a game can stretch for so long. And this is The Last Guardian. And eventually the fact that it's been vaporware for so long and all of a sudden it's real and then all of a sudden it's out can make it a disappointing experience because it's such a big buildup, and then when you play it, you're like, really? We waited all this time for this? And one of the things that Last Guardian and No Man's Sky that we've just talked about are, unlike the rest of the games we talked about, aren't really sequels, but they're examples of games that were known and took so long. Well, actually, No Man's Sky didn't take too long, but still, it's an example of how a developer and a company that wants exclusivity can disrupt the game. Sony also did The Last Guardian, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So that one was in development hell for a shit long period of time.
yeah.
But
on a side note, can you tell me what I'm looking at? Because that looks like a bird puppy.
It's a bird dog. It's bird dog. Yeah. When the game came out, which was 2016, so 2 years ago, and it was rumored and initially announced in 2009. That's why people were like, this ain't happening. And then all of a sudden, oh, it's happening.
So but only took, 7 years?
Yeah. But when people were talking about this game in podcasts when it came out in 2016, everyone referred to the creature as bird dog. So it's basically a big dog with like a feather body and eagle talons and stuff for the feet.
Yeah, it looks like a giant feathery puppy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't even know. It's more like, I think, a puzzle experience or something like that. But I've been tempted to get it because I think I like it. But I'm thinking, when I look at it, I pick it up in the store and I go, Nah, not yet. I'll wait for it to drop in price a little more.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Hey, I think we need to start rolling out.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what we looked at. Actually, it was Z who
In here,
brought
I
this
was
up.
afraid we might not actually make an hour of this.
Oh no, dude! I think we're like a little over an hour, right?
Yeah, I have this at about an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay, that's respectable.
Yeah.
So Component Z, thank you for coming for another month, not leaving me on my own. Thank you.
I'm glad I could find. I saw this and I'm like, you know what? This
was
is
perfect.
what we need to cover.
Yeah, I read it and I was like, yeah, this works.
Because this is what we need. The year of the sequel.
The year of the sequel. Well, what do you have coming up on your Twitch? What do you have coming up on your stuff, man?
Currently, I've been playing just a couple of like simple. I don't want to say simple, but some light, like resource management type games. One of them is an early access game called Foundation.
Dude, I just bought it yesterday. Dude, I watched videos and I was like, oh my god, I want this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play it.
I've been on that kind of kick. I've been playing
Railway
Empire.
I saw you play that.
And Planet Coaster.
That's it. That's the other one too.
So
you're streaming.
And then I saw Gaming D-Day next Friday.
Gaming D-Day next Friday. Y'all ready for Gaming D-Day next Friday? What's Gaming D-Day? Zez is
next Friday is the 15th.
Oh, because there's a ton of stuff coming out?
Yeah, everything, like a ton of stuff's going to drop on the 15th. So
got it. So I take it you have a new game that you're eager to share online.
Well, it's going to be a little bit before I can get, because I've got to get it set up to play Kingdom Hearts. I might do at least the main two before this. I haven't decided on if I'm going to do like Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I at least want to do the first two main. I want to do the two main games on stream before I jump into 3. And
makes sense.
At some point, I need to get back into Dragon Quest.
Oh yes.
Because I was playing that. Then I kind of got burnt out in gaming for a little bit and put it down. And now I need to get back into it. And
yeah, it happens. It happens.
And I see you've still been playing Red Dead.
So yes, I finally finished Mafia 2. So now I'm concentrating full and wholeheartedly on Red Dead 2. But every Monday I got this thing going on called Minecraft Monday. So Mondays is my Minecraft night, and then the rest of the time I stream it's Red Dead. Once I get that off the plate, I'll be jumping back onto Kingdom Come Deliverance, and then hopefully some of that stack that I have behind me.
The other thing I have going on my channel, I'm working some stuff. Mouse and I are probably going to start doing what we call Wasteland Wednesdays.
Oh,
so
cool.
We're gonna roll into Fallout 76 on Wednesdays.
Sweet. That's awesome.
So tomorrow for you, it'll be yesterday when this actually goes up on YouTube, because it'll be Thursday when this goes up on YouTube. But
correct, yeah. Oh, that sounds great, man.
We're gonna do. We actually are gonna explore West Hack.
Okay.
So, but you're not far enough into Fallout.
I know, I'm not. It's a game I'm gonna play, but I got my order of things.
You're missing out.
The other thing that I'm having or doing with my channel is I'm now in the midst of rebranding. At one point I was like, am I going to change the name because it's Kirok Craft? And I was thinking of just dropping the craft and keeping Kirok, but after much deliberation I decided I'm going to stay with Kirok Craft. I'm just going to change the look of the channel, change the graphics. It's been a long time. It's been like 2015 since I came up, 2013 since I came up with that design. So that's the other thing I'm working on. I'm going to work on channel look for both YouTube and Twitch, and just make it, fresh and new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do have your new logo up. I mean, we got it
Yeah.
up on our.
I'm gonna be changing that logo again as part of my rebranding.
Zez says that Metro, Far
Cry,
Jump Force, Crackdown 3, and Anthem Early Access are all on the 15th.
Damn, that's a lot. The new Far Cry, that's right. I did see that.
And out of that list, I know Zez is ready for Metro, Far Cry, Jump Force. I'm not sure about Crackdown or Anthem.
I'm not a fan of Anthem. To me, it looks like a reskin of Destiny, but that's just my opinion. So, guys, thank you for coming tonight. Zez, thank you for being there in the chat, and also thanks for kind of being our fact checker tonight. That's been an amazing experience. I really appreciate it. But you can, if you're watching this on Twitch, or if you're watching this, on YouTube, once we archive it there, you can check out Bottle Rocket Gaming website. If you go to bottlerocketgaming.com, there you can get details about the group. There you can find out about members. And it's a pretty cool group, kind of like a gaming media group. You can also find us on Discord. If you do a search on Discord for Bottle Rocket Gaming, you'll find us. You can join, and that's where you get to know the people in the group. And people can hang out, and people can chat, and people can even say, "Hey, anybody playing some Call of Duty 4 Blackout or PUBG or what?" And then if there's a group of people who wants to play, they can play. Obviously, this will be posted on YouTube, so under youtube.com/Bottle Rocket Gaming in 2 days, you can watch the video. And we're on Twitch. You're here. Look at Zez. Thumbs up, thumbs up. And if you like what you see, you can even support this podcast by going to the Bottle Rocket Patreon, which is patreon.com/Bottle Rocket Gaming. There you can choose to donate if you want, support the channel, support the community, which will help out with a lot of different things. Like, I think some money can go into servers or copies of games for people who don't have games, which is a cool way to help us out.
I'm going to slide in a piece of news that I forgot to bring up earlier.
No worries. Go right ahead.
Real quick. And this kind of affects me in a way. For those who were looking at getting a 3DS capture card.
Yes. I remember you were talking to me about this. Go ahead. Yeah.
It looks like Katsu Kitty has gone bankrupt.
Oh.
Katsu Kitty was one of the major suppliers of the new 3DS and new 2DS XL capture cards, and unfortunately they have gone bankrupt.
Oh.
So they're selling off what stock they have, and
you got to move fast then.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh man. Oh wow. Okay. Look at this. Hamnisu just joined the chat right when we were ending. Dude. Little boy and big bat monster. Hi. How you doing? Oh my goodness.
That's a bird puppy.
It's a bird puppy. All right. So we've been running for a little bit, so we're going to have to end it at this point. And once again, thank you everybody for joining. Hamnishu. Oh, you're ending? Ah, shoot. Oh, God. Sorry, dude. Bird puppy. All right. Thanks again for everyone coming. We will see you again in a month's time, first Tuesday of the next month. So that's March. I don't know exactly which date, but in March. We'll see you then. Bye for now, guys.
Don't forget to support us on Patreon. Also follow us on Twitter. Thank you for watching and good night. Cheerio.